Going on, y'all? This is Davion Senior. It's now I just want to take the time to talk about one of my favorite, very underrated horror creature feature films, Deep Blue Sea. Now, if you remember Deep Blue Sea, if you was born in between whatever year, you know what that was about. And I've been watching it for the first time when I was about, three going on four. It was on HBO around late 99, 2000 ish. Definitely one of those years. And I remember seeing little scenes from it. Then as I got a little older, 7 years old, I watched it in its entirety for the first time on TBS Superstation. You remember TBS Superstation? Don't play around. I remember watching it for the first time and I was blown away. Now, over the years, there wasn't really many creature feature films unless they were low budget joints on the sci-fi every Saturday. I mean, if you're 27, you definitely know what I'm talking about, and you definitely remember that. And it was a whole surfing war between watching Toonami, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon whenever they had their shows air on the weekends. But Deep Blue Sea, I've have yet to see something be aped or even match up to Deep Blue Sea. Now, a lot of people talk about creature features like Jaws, which is like the godfather of many, many creature features. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the first time it was the first time a creature feature was being filmed. And it was also stated that I don't really remember the whole thing, but it was said that if Steven Spielberg was able to capture a mechanical shark in the way that he wanted to, then he would have never made Jaws. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, don't quote me for it, but Jaws is like the Godfather. But Deep Blue Sea is kind of like, the younger grandson, I want to say, because we also got a lot of different movies that came after, Deep Blue Sea. You had movies like Shark Attack 1, 2, and 3. You had all these other low budget creature films, but they were never of that caliber or scale of Deep Blue Sea. Now, Deep Blue Sea actually has a star-studded cast, even though it is underrated. But you have people like LL Cool J, who was the cook, who was basically preaching, giving us Bible verses while cooking and trying to survive in a stove while being attacked by a shark. You have your boy Michael Rappaport. You have the original Punisher, Thomas Jane. You have Samuel Jackson, if I didn't mention him already. You have all these stars right here, and some of the small time stars, but they were factors in this movie. And the reason I say that they were factors in this movie is because I was entertained whenever they would get killed by a shark. Now, let's keep it all the way real, man. This movie was just graphic as. I mean, this is one of the most graphic shark attack movies ever. I mean, people were being ripped to shreds. People were being ripped to shreds, and their lower half of their body were moving due to the shock of what just happened. There was a lot of jump scares. I mean, this movie had me shook of sharks, man. You know what I'm saying? And the CGI. Now, the CGI back in the 90s, it was still a bit campy. It didn't really look official, but it worked for certain films like Jurassic Park. It worked for movies like The Abyss, and The Abyss came out in 1989. You know what I'm saying? Terminator 2. I mean, there were some highs for CGI back in the 90s if they were budgeted and done in a more presentable way. But let's keep it real, CGI has came a long way. Now, the performances in this movie, when you're watching a movie like this, you don't really pay attention to performance. At least I do. But some of the performances of this movie with LL Cool J and Samuel Jackson's characters, they stole the show for me. But if you watch it, I'm not gonna say too many spoilers, but there were some pretty good jump scares. This is when jump scares actually were effective, and the way the sharks and the design was just set up, I thought that was pretty cool. Also, the sound design. I mean, just the way these sharks move and you hear their little roar underneath the water, I thought that was tight as well. But one thing that really had me intrigued, when you watch Deep Blue Sea for the first time and that Warner Brothers logo places itself on the screen, and you hit dun 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 dun. It's kind of, now that I think about it, is in the same tempo as Jaws, but with a more eerie, more sinister take to it. But overall, Deep Blue Sea will forever be an underrated classic. I don't know why people are not really talking about it more. I am disappointed, and it is pretty cheesy that they went on to not remake, but make unnecessary sequels that didn't even didn't even have the spirit of the original film. I mean, it was just terrible. Then they had the nerves to make a third one. So I mean, it wasn't like it was a franchise. I mean, they should have just left it as it was. And that's the thing. There's not enough creature feature flicks in cinema today. I know we have films like A Quiet Place. You have movies like the recent one that came out about 3 years ago. I seen it in theaters too. Crawl. But we need more creature features of some of the most interesting, most satisfying movies to watch, especially when the sound design is right, when the creature design is right. It just makes the movie experience a whole lot better. I mean, it's just, what's more fun than watching people fight desperately not to become a lunch special? You know what I'm saying? Creature features are important. I feel like they should have been more of a factor in the film industry. But hopefully, especially with all these new movies coming out, these new progressive movies, we're seeing a lot of change. We're seeing a lot of distinctiveness in Hollywood. Now, I know a lot of people complain about Hollywood. I complain about Hollywood over the repetitiveness, but I also see a bright side to it. There is an upside to it because you have companies like A24, you have streaming services, you have TV shows that emulate the nature of a film and still remains a TV show, but has a better quality opposed to an hour, 2 hour long movie. And you know how that is. But anyway, man, creature features have got to be shown more love. And that's just how I feel about it, man. Deep Blue Sea, I felt like it should have got more love and recognition alongside with the other creature features that came before then. But anyway, man, that is my quick take on one of my favorite movies of Deep Blue Sea. It's a series I'm starting. Just a quick take of movies that I like and favor a lot. But anyway, that is my take on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Comment some stuff down below so I can watch, man, because I'm about to turn this movie thing up a notch. I'm about to be giving y'all full length videos, man. I mean, I'm gonna do the best I can because I have a job in my schedule, the way I'm scheduled. Anyway, man, no more excuses, man. Back to back to back, man. But anyway, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. And I'm up out of here, y'all. And I'm tired as hell. So take y'all asses to bed. I'm out of here, y'all. Good night.